Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is August the 10th, 2023. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good, feeling all right. Today was actually very breezy, very easy. Yet again, one of those days where my Rumpke guy, my trash plug, if you will, was running late. So, trash was already filled up, nothing for me to do. So I just kind of hung out. I was just really just deep chilling, really relaxing, chopping it up with the maintenance folk. So that was fun. That was interesting. And I managed to get myself some free swag from work. Every once in a while, like the maintenance crew, they'll get little promos, little here's some extra merch or some swag. Like there's this nice little mug or water bottle. So every once in a while, they'll have their fill of it. They don't want any of the spoils, and so it'll just sit there, just in the shop. And I'm just like, I saw this like vest. It was just like this Carhartt vest, and it was like a size too big for me. And I didn't like that, so I kind of like, whatever. I won't press on this, whatever. But I was just chilling all day, chopping, or like half the day. Finally, they came, and I was able to get to work. But I resolved, I'm like, hey, I'm going to ask around about this vest. And sure enough, no one wanted it, so I took it. So yay, new swag, new clothing. Too bad it is, like I said, it's still too big, so I'm only going to wear it with like a hoodie. So probably not going to wear it to like fall, but when the cozy times come, I'll be ready. Okay. Let's boot up, and then we'll get into some news. Yummy. From ABC News, American woman child freed after being kidnapped in Haiti last month. American woman Alex Dorsainvil and her young child have been freed and are safe after being kidnapped in Haiti roughly 2 weeks ago, according to a statement from El Roy Haiti, the faith-based nonprofit where she worked. So not only did she work there, also her husband, excuse me, I believe it's Sandro. Yes, Sandro Dorsainville. He runs and operates El Roy Haiti. So I imagine this is really great news for him, the family, just probably the whole organization in general. I myself was happy to hear about this. Kind of just like popped up on my news feed, I believe yesterday. So I was like, all right, cool. That's a dub we can take. And I also heard that they were unharmed, so everything went well with the negotiations. So that's good. They didn't talk about in terms of like money or whatever, but I from what I've read and heard, that's kind of a common thing in these situations, is that like, hey, we made this, we've done this kidnapping, but now obviously we're trying to get money out of you, now this is extortion to make everything right. So yeah, we're starting off with a dub here. That's good news. We love to see it. She might have even had an interview with the ABC News. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I didn't go too deep here, but that might be available for viewing. All right, let's see here. Let's move along. From BBC News, candidate in Ecuador's presidential election, Fernando Villavicencio, shot dead. A candidate in Ecuador's forthcoming presidential election who campaigned against corruption and gangs has been shot dead at a campaign rally. He was a member of the country's National Assembly, and he was attacked as he left the event in the capital of Quito on Wednesday. Apparently, he was, making it to his car, and they just fucking shot him up. It is alleged between, two gangs. Let's see. But Fernando had received threats from a gang calling itself Los Chernos. Chonoros. That's probably not right, but apologies. Mea culpa. Last month, and had been given a security detail. Let's see. Following his murder, a video appeared on social media in which heavily armed men wearing balaclavas claimed responsibility for the murder. The men claimed to belong to Los Lobos, or the Wolves, who are the rivals of Los Charneros. Now, another video came out with people without wearing masks saying that they were Los Lobos and they had nothing to do with the assassination and that their rivals are actually trying to set them up. So, essentially they're saying, hey, this is a big deal and we don't want to actually claim this. But then there's also this group that maybe is this group and maybe it might be the rivals, who knows? So, this is kind of deep in that regard. Also, I think that this... Oh, man, did the story reset? I lost my marker. But I think there was actually another one. Yeah, here we go. He is not the first politician to be assassinated. Last month, the mayor of the city of Manta was shot dead, while in February, a candidate for mayor in the city of Puerto Lopez was killed. So yeah, I mean, it's very, very upsetting. Apparently that, this was kind of not common. Ecuador, this area was, a peaceful nation, but, crime has been on the up, a lot of activity. So, curious to see, what, comes down the pipe. Once again, I kind of use these kind of stories, these situations to learn a little bit about the area, and see what kind of happens, down the road. Because, obviously this is an election cycle. So, there are a bunch of other people who are still vying for, spot. And then also, there's, the current president who's, saying, hey, I'm going to be cracking down on this shit. I'm going to be trying to stamp this out. So, we'll see. Let's see how that goes. I think that's all I want to do here. Yeah, we can move along. A lot of fire news. We've been talking about them a lot lately. I kind of just want to hop and skip until we get to kind of the main one. But from phys.org, ravaged by fire, Mojave's desert's famed Joshua trees may be gone forever. This was a wildfire that took place in the California, Nevada area. These Joshua trees are kind of near extinction, I believe. They're they're a preserved tree. And essentially, this wildfire came and more or less devastated the population. So that was, a bit of a bummer. Wanted to touch on that. I think that was from last week. So it's kind of a bit old news, but I wanted to kind of lump it in. Then there was a fire in France that I don't think it was a wildfire, but they're not sure what the cause was. But this is from CNN. 11 killed in fire at French vacation home hosting people with disabilities. So obviously it's very sad. This is adults, with learning disabilities, essentially in a situation where hey, we're trying to give you a place where you can be comfortable, kind of this is a summer vacation home, kind of make I believe kind of a vacation out of it, give them activities and stuff like that. But there was a fire that took place and, sadly 11 people died. But this was the main one that I wanted to cover that took place. I kind of believe it took place at the start of this week, but from the Associated Press, Maui surveys the burn wreckage caused by the deadliest U.S. wildfire in years. A search of the wildfire devastation on the Hawaiian island of Maui on Thursday revealed a wasteland of obliterated neighborhoods and landmarks charred beyond recognition, as the death toll reached at least 36, and survivors told harrowing stories of narrow escapes with only the clothes on their backs. This was a lot of this was the historic island of Lahaina. and it's also taking place on the Big Island, like mainland kind of stuff, I believe. Several other spots, but essentially, it's a mix of dry weather conditions mixed with wind from like a hurricane. I believe Hurricane Dora is kind of passing by, so these hurricane winds. It's not. We don't know exactly what had caused the wildfire, like what caused the fire to happen, but it's believed that maybe like power lines got knocked down, and that kind of then creates this two-pronged situation of, okay, now power lines are down, that's bad, right? Then there's a big fire that is like, now we're seeing that it could not be taken down, and also now with those power lines being down, there's no communication, so that's adding to a lot of factors. Also, with Lahaina, it's a very old like area. It's a tourist destination. They've been struggling since COVID to kind of get back on their feet. They kind of been, getting back up, and essentially something like this, it's just devastating. I mean, they're saying that this was like a fire that was almost like apocalyptic in scale. People weren't able to leave the area because it's like a one road kind of situation. It's very hard to get assistance and help in this kind of, situation where there's literally this huge engulfing fire, and, it's so hard to put out, and it's so hard to get people out. So it was like the numbers went from like nothing in terms of like the death toll to like 6. Then I heard 11, and then I woke up the next day and I heard 36, and I was like, gosh, it's so fucking wild that like this happened so fast and was just so devastating to the area. And not to mention that it's still going, if I'm not mistaken. It's still going, surrounding areas and places like that. There's still a lot of search and rescue going on right now. So, it's a lot. And they do cover a lot of stories in this article. I heard a story of a guy who was trying to do his best to keep his home, from, burning up. And so, he was trying to keep water on his house. And eventually he realized, like, I can't do this. So he starts running with just the clothes on his back. He said he didn't even have a phone or his wallet. His family had already evacuated to a shelter. And he winds up running, and he's running alongside an older lady, I believe. And I think she had like a car or something like that. So she's like, hey, we can actually take my car. We need to actually help some other people, some elderly people. So he goes to help some elderly people in this car. And the next thing you know, he's like, hey, I have this car. I don't know like whose car this is. I don't even have my phone. I need to contact my family. I think they're okay. There were stories of people having nowhere else to go, so they literally like run out into the ocean. So that's crazy. Just a lot. This is just so crazy that there's so many fires, so much shit going on, right now in the world. It's hard to keep up with all of it, Goddamn. So, obviously my condolences to, the people going through that kind of shit right now. Also, too, there are still weirdly, I've heard people still trying to go to Hawaii right now, which I get it. It is a poppin' destination. It's the summer, it's vacation time. But, the obviously the people are saying, hey, do not come. Do not come. Okay, just change your flight, book somewhere else. I'm sorry, cut your losses. Like this is not like the Greece scenario where it's like, hey, we have this heavily contained. Actually, like just don't come to like Rhodes or whatever, and you're good. Like no, like this isn't that. So yeah, I mean, just more fire news. I guess I should have had that on the docket, but that is the thing this year. This is very trending, feels like. All right. One more thing to cover. I can't even say this is lighter news. This is a roller coaster. That's all I can say. So let me take my break, and then we'll close it out. All right. From Variety. Lil Tay's family releases statement saying she's alive. Okay, now you may not know who Lil Tay is, and that's fair. You're probably saving yourself some fucking brain rot. I've randomly picked up on who Lil Tay is, so we'll kind of run through that really quick. But this is the first time I've covered a story where I thought a person had died. You know, like shit. Like we're doing the news coverage. This motherfucker's dead. They gone. And it's like, psych. They came back. They're not dead. The rumors were bullshit. They're actually alive. For real, for real. Google was wrong. So, let's start with who is Lil Tay. We'll just, as Variety says it. Because she's an enigma, if you ask me personally. Lil Tay first achieved viral fame as a 9-year-old social media influencer. I'd also add /rapper. She does rap or did rap. Look up Money Way. It's an interesting little banger. Where she posted rowdy videos of herself boasting about being rich and owning expensive cars. She was launched into a custody battle between her parents 5 years ago, while suspicious allegations appeared online about her family situation and safety. In June of 2018, Lil Tay's Instagram was wiped clean, and the words "help me" were posted on her story. Also, a little bit more here. It came out that all of Lil Tay's flexes, all of her online troll persona, all of it was a manufactured thing by her manager, aka brother at the time, so this was all something that was a fabricated image, and then she fell off the map. I had thought I heard maybe about a few weeks ago rumblings of maybe a Lil Tay comeback, but maybe I'm just imagining that. I'm not sure. But then next thing I knew, she was fucking dead, and I'm like, what? So let's go back to the top. Lil Tay is allegedly alive. One day after the internet rapper and social media star's management confirmed to Variety that she had died, her family has allegedly issued a statement to TMZ in which she says she is safe and alive. And I feel like a lot of these news sites are using that word allegedly, they're going back to TMZ here. They're saying, hey, we're doing our research here because they were told, yo, she's dead, which is one of those things where it's a lot of these publications came out and said, yes, Lil Tay is dead. You could still probably look that up if you're, on the day was a Thursday. You could still say, is Lil Tay dead? And some places are still recording it that she is dead at the age of 14 years old. And it's oh shit, but she's not dead. At least as we know on this podcast as of today, she's, allegedly confirmed alive. But news of Lil Tay's alleged death first arrived via August 9th on a post on her Instagram that has now been deleted. The post also stated that her brother had died. The family's new alleged statement to TMZ claims that Lil Tay's Instagram account was compromised by a third party and used to spread jarring misinformation and rumors about her. And we'll go ahead and read this quote. I want to make it clear that my brother and I are safe and alive, but I'm completely heartbroken and struggling to even find the words to say. Lil Tay's alleged statement to TMZ reads, it's been a very traumatizing 24 hours. All day yesterday, I was bombarded with endless heartbreaking and tearful phone calls from loved ones, all while trying to sort out this mess. My Instagram account was compromised by a third party and used to spread jarring misinformation and rumors regarding me to the point that even my name was wrong. My legal name is Tay Tian, not Claire Hope, which was the statement saying that Claire had a sudden and tragic passing. So yeah, I mean, this is very weird. This is very odd. I don't know, but at the same time, this is all so Lil Tay, if you ask me. Just from the little scant information I've gathered into the Tay-verse, if you will. I don't know. It's deep. I don't know if this is a Jover or if we're so back. You feel me? I don't know. And also, is there new shit cooking? You know, like, is there gonna be a new Lil Tay comeback? Like, well, what? Let me know, guys. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. But that's all I have for today. That's the episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far, you've already done me a huge solid. You've already just made my heart swell. Like I'm bigger, like Grinch style. I'm boom, boom, like size is bigger. But if you'd like to make that even bigger, money does help. Patreon.com /Isaiah News. Your financial support, it helps out the podcast. It bolsters my coffers. Also, you get a shout out. You become a newsie. And I, say your name on the top of the month. And then also I shout out any project, any kind of thing you'd like. Essentially, like, you're sponsoring me in a way. I kind of thought about that. It's almost like a micro sponsorship. Free ways to hit me up, though. IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. And then also I'm on all the socials. I don't feel like naming them all out, but they're there. Either you can find me or the podcast. Another way to help and support is subscribing to the YouTube or any platform I'm on where you can do that. Hit that subscribe button. If there is a review metric, do that. All of it, max it out. 5 stars, 10 stars, all of the stars. Feel free to comment. Thumbs up, all that cool shit. That shit's great. So yeah, that's all I have. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I'll see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.